The day is finally here, boys. This is Astranox, and I'm gonna be summoning for Sylvan Sage Vivian. We had to wait many months. But she's finally here. I'm gonna try to get her on my first account, guys. I have 90 chances. I didn't do secret shop refreshes. I don't know. I think I'm gonna be sad about that. So if I don't get on account number 1, I'm gonna jump on to account number 4, and I'll get her there. So Sharon is another hero that's getting released. Well, she is released now, and I'll showcase her after ML Vivian, so stay tuned for that. Alright, boys, it's time. It's time to summon for ML Vivian. Let's see if I get lucky. If I get real lucky. 90 chances. It's not that many. Let's look at the odds real quick here. So, get Sylvan Sage Vivian. 0.625%. And I've got the RGB 5-star so many times. I didn't get the Moonlight hero. Yeah, happened quite a few times. But there's also quite a few times where I did get the ML5, so not too bad. So we got Surmia, we got Tacharikos in this rotation. Tacharikos pretty strong. Surmia, big single target. Don't really see her in the meta. PvE hero mostly. Okay. Here we go, man. Come on, baby. Come on. Okay. Oh, we want to see the purple shine. Let's go, man. Let's go. So this hero, she's got skill 3 that attacks everyone. She puts critical hit damage buff on the whole team. And she's got a passive that allows her to survive some big hits. Because if she actually survives, because if she does get one-shotted, her passive doesn't trigger, so keep that in mind, right? That is a con of this hero. But if she's going to survive the damage, okay, cool, she will be taking 70% less damage, right? Unless the hero that attacked her, well, ignores damage reduction effect. Okay, come on. Oh, let's see. No, should have done secret shop refreshes. Because I got the gold, you know, I got the sky stones. Look at that, this is terrible. This is not what you want to see. Definitely not what you want to see. Back to back, nothing at all. Oh, come on. The thing is, the purple shine can show up later. Oh, this is awful. So the passive allows her to stay alive longer, and then her skill 3 brings her health back when she attacks based on how much health the targets have. And the more health they have, the more healing she will do to herself. So there's going to be different builds for her. Maybe you build her more healthy. I'm gonna, on this account, the first account, I want to build her more with like a lot of speed and big damage, as much damage as possible. I want her to be in there in the rotation to put crit damage buff on my team, and I want her to start soul burning skill 1 to start attacking everyone, because instead of a single target attack, the multiplier is the same, 187% from what I remember. Skill 1 single target attack, but it's the same when you attack everyone, so it's gonna hit pretty hard, especially with the crit damage buff, especially if you can put the an attack buff on her. Oh man, this is bad. Guys, that's just 2 more times. So yeah, she can definitely do some damage, and she's a mage. So there's a lot of really powerful mage artifacts, but the thing is, I'm going to be wearing Tagil's Ancient Book, because that opens a lot of different plays, and I need my souls. Souls are very powerful, and I would ban or I would avoid Abelian teams in a control environment. You know, like, oh man. Come on. It's the last one. Purple shine. No. Okay, well, we're gonna move on to account number 4, and it's gonna be easier for me to actually gear her out there, because it's gonna be easier for me to have her go before the rest of the team versus this account where I have a lot of my damage dealers at like 290, 280. You know, like most of my heroes are very high speed, 250 up, right? I don't like to rely on combat readiness booster, because that's a non-attack skill most of the time. So yeah, it's hard to actually gear her on this account, and I would need a lot of speed, which means that her damage wouldn't be as high as it could be, and then you guys want to see the big numbers, so that's gonna be on account number 4. Let me go there and summon for her, and it's gonna be a guarantee. I'll build her after that, you know, and I might have some memory imprints. I don't know if I have some green Vivians laying around, but I have Unknown Slate, at least one, I believe. So that's the good news. So let's switch to account number 4, and then I'll be building her up 6-star. You know, max level, awaken, skill up, plus 15 skill ups, and then I'll put gear on her so you guys can see the stat that she has. Here we go. We're here, boys. You know what's gonna happen, right? I'm gonna just get her real early, right, just to annoy me. She's gonna just show up real soon. Well, that'd be good. Let's see what happens, right? Let's go real quick here. Extend pulls. Let's just spam it up. Okay. Charicos. I can definitely put that to good use. I don't know if I already have one. It did not. Okay, that's good. That's good. Let's see. And good luck to everyone trying to pull for Sylvan Sage Vivian. Wait for my showcase. See if you really like her performance or not. So, another one. Nice. So, some of the issues with ML Vivian is that she attacks everyone. You know, with the skill number 3, you want her to attack everyone with the skill number 1, so counter attacks. Okay, that's Sermia. I don't know if I have her here. So that could be a lot of counter attacks, a lot of Elbrus triggers. So that could definitely be very deadly, but at least she can take quite a punch because of the focus she has, and then she will have 70% damage reduction because of her passive if you do have the skill ups. Sermia, that's cool. Okay, not bad. Let's continue here. So, yeah, decent pulls on this 4th account. Much more lucky than the first one. And Vivian, if the battle drags on and you have the souls, right? Because you don't want to be fighting a billion that blocks your soul gain when you bring ML Vivian. You just spam soul burn skill 1, you know, with attack buff, crit damage buff. It's gonna hurt real bad, especially if you do manage to land defense break on the enemy. They're just gonna get destroyed. It's not even funny. Like, they're just gonna be taking so much damage. It's ridiculous. So we're getting close here. And actually, no, it's not that close. We're not even halfway through the summoning here, but I'm just spamming extend whatever. We go. Nothing. Oh my god, that is definitely not what you want to see. A bunch of nothing all over the place, right? You don't want that. Those mystic summons are hard to get. Mystic summons, you gotta do guild war. You don't want to get that from the arena, right? Every week you need to get the sky stones. It's much more efficient. And then if you want the mystic medals, if you want more, what you can do is do secret shop refreshes, right? Sky stone, it's efficient. Also, when the pop-up shop push, wait, is it? Push? I think it is. When he shows up, you get them on discount. If you can get them for 100 sky stones per 50 mystic medals, that's really worth it. Even 200, it's still okay. Even though I believe while doing secret shop refreshes, from what I remember, it's something like 185 sky stone on average per 50 mystic medals. But you need to have the gold, guys. Not everyone has a bunch of gold laying around. If you need gold, check my gold guides. You know, I even have 2 accounts now. Is it 2 accounts? Almost 2 accounts, I believe, with over 1 billion gold. So that's pretty ridiculous as a free-to-play player. Just let that sink in. That is like, you know, like almost 3 years of saving, basically. Oh, wait, was that it? No way. We don't know. It could be Cartujo. Okay, it's Cartujo. Oh, we don't know yet. We don't know. We do not know. Was I already there at the pity? Was I? Okay, let's slow it down here. Oh, that's it. It's her. It's a purple page. Oh. I had over 15,000 mystic medals, right? So we can just go and check if it was a pity or not, because I kept on talking. With the magic I've learned, I will rewrite the future. Okay. Very nice, very nice. ML Vivian. all her glory. Okay. At the end, and she's at the end here of the pool. That doesn't make sense. Usually you gotta do a +1. I got her early, guys. Look, I had over 15,000 Mystic Medals. We're at 9,355. That's it. I didn't join the 201 club. That's the good news. Hope you guys get lucky, like I did get lucky, on this 4th account of mine. Not like the first one. But I did have to draw something like over 6,000 Mystic Medals. It's different for everyone, of course. It's RNG. Random number generator. Let's power her up. Let me make some space first, and then we'll 6-star her max level. I'll do the skill up, awakening, and then we'll put gear on her. I'll talk about different builds for her. Here we go. How many unknown slate do we want here? I have a bunch of them saved up. I don't have green Vivian, sadly. I only have one Vivian, which is the copy I need to keep, right? Because I only have one. So unknown slate. This ML Vivian, right? She's got attack percentage imprint, so that is pretty good, right? AoE imprint, helping your team, dealing more damage, which is good. She also has a crit chance self imprint, which is the better one in terms of value. So that is pretty good. So let's power her up here real quick. So first thing here, let's drop these penguins. There we go, and the promotion. Yes. Stuff is ready right here. There we go. Real quick. Real easy. Love those changes, man. They've been doing over time so many quality of life improvements. It's ridiculous. Okay. Easy peasy. And I'm just gonna awaken her real quick. So this hero, you know, there's going to be a lot of different combinations that you can pull off with her. Sadly, her base speed is not that high at 110, so you can't really use ML Vivian to trigger Challenger Domino, like push her, right? But you can have Tegiel's Ancient Book on her. You could have Tegiel's on her and on C-Dom, and you could be using a hero that can, like a Pavel, to initiate, right? There's a lot of different hero with high base speed, like Ran. Right, so you could initiate with a hero like that, and then you're gonna be able to do some pretty crazy stuff. Sedum pushes herself with her passive, and then she pushes, you know, the whole team. She puts crit chance buff on the team. Then it's Sylvan Sage Vivian's turn. Then, you know, you put crit damage buff on the team. Maybe you put that crit chance buff to good use from C-Dom, so you don't need to build so much crit chance across your whole team, saving a lot of stats right there for, you know, crit damage attack. But then you don't want to have crit damage over 300% because you're gonna get crit damage buff from ML Vivian. So, you know, you don't want to be losing value. So yeah, you can invest more into attack. You can invest more into speed, survivability for your heroes. So that is pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff that you're going to be able to pull off with a hero like Sylvan Sage Vivian. But if they're running a bunch of heroes that counter AoE teams, you got to be careful, guys. You got to be careful. At least this is not a non-attack skill, so you're not going to be triggering Politis and Selene, which can be really dangerous. So just keep that in mind. Skill ups. Let's do the skill ups plus 15. I'm not going to be missing any Catalyst, so that is the good news. And I do have so many MolaGora because I don't build everything on every account. I have 5 accounts and I'm free to play, but I just save my currency for times like this. So here we go here. The cooldown on 6th turn is high. So the goal is to trigger her passive, because when she triggers the passive, sorry, she actually reduces her cooldown by 1, the skill 3 cooldown. So if they're trying to focus her down, you're just gonna get the skill 3 faster, which is a good thing, right? And she gets passive attack increase, which is actually 15% of her attack. Attacks 3 times, 45% attack increase. Some players are saying like maybe 20% would be better because the cooldown of skill 3 is pretty long. It's understandable. Others are saying, oh, well, you could just be using artifacts that lower the cooldown of mages, which there's a few of them. So there's that, right? So there's going to be different builds for this hero. So yes, you could go with the Tagil's Ancient Book. Easy peasy, opens a lot of doors, and that's my preferred choice. But you could be running other artifacts, to reduce her cooldown, to get her to cycle faster, like Ethica's Scepter, or the one that when you defeat an enemy, you get damage boost and you get the cooldown reduction. So yeah, there's going to be different ways to build her, or you can straight up go with an artifact that boosts her raw damage, because you want to just open up big damage on skill 3 and then you want to drop these soul burn skill 1s. So you gotta save your souls for that for her, because the rest of the team is gonna be generating souls and you're gonna be spending them on Sylvan Sage Vivian. So in terms of skill ups, to be honest, if you feel like you're going to be getting the passive to trigger often and you want to get as much damage reduction as possible, I mean, you're bringing 50% damage reduction all the way up to 70%, so it's pretty powerful, right? But like I've been saying, always like work on the early skill ups, because it's just one MolaGora, so it's an easy investment right there. But the bulk of the damage will come out of the skill 1 the longer the battle drags on. So you might want to invest into the skill 1 more so than the skill number 3. But the skill 3, if you feel like the battle is going to end up real quick, in like 1 or 2 turns, then of course you could just drop a bunch of skill ups into 3 first. But try to sort of like power them evenly, maybe more 1 and 3. 2 is really depending on your preference, depending on how many hits you think she's going to be taking and how hard these hits will be, right? But the thing is, a lot of times the battles might be short, but this hero seems to be more built toward a longer battle where you're going to keep her health up using the skill number 3, the healthier the team you're fighting against, because that's the way it works, and you're just going to be taking a bunch of like hard-hitting hits that will be reduced by the damage reduction of the passive. Hopefully you do have focus. Hopefully you're not fighting Solitaria of the snow, because then you're not going to be getting focus. So there's counters to her, right? Teams that counter AoE heroes is another problem. Counter Set Elbrus, and you're just going to receive so many counter attacks to your face, and then the passive will not be able to keep up, right? And you're gonna have to like draw the line in terms of like survivability versus offense on this hero. The speed, like there's quite a few things to actually build on this hero, because if you don't have the survivability, if you don't keep her alive, then the passive is not going to be put to great use. And if she gets one-shotted by like a Huayong, then that's it, the passive doesn't even trigger, she just drops like a fly and that's the end of it, right? So yeah, that's for the skill ups. Now I'm just going to be putting gear on her and we'll look at how her stats look like. But so far this is her base stats right here, and it's strong. It's a lot of attack, guys. I mean, it's almost 1400 attack, which is ridiculous. Defense is high, which is the norm for mages. The health is a bit low. The speed 110, it's okay. It's okay. I wish it was higher to use her as an initiator sort of deal, a pre-buffer. It'd be easier to position her in multiple teams, especially very high speed burst teams, like my account number 1. Crit chance at 23, that's good. Easier to get her to, that 100%. But if you're going to be, full, activating her imprint, I mean, you're getting almost 17% here. So, I mean, that's almost 40% crit chance in the long run when you actually get her at triple S because of Unknown Slate, because of Green Vivian. Maybe you wait for a Vivian rotation and then you just go ham with Covenant Bookmarks. So that's another strategy. So let's see her stats. Let me give you guys more thoughts about her when she has gear on. Alright guys, this is my build for Sylvan Sage Vivian. You can see that my survivability is not as high as it should be. So you gotta keep in mind that yes, it's nice to go for high offense, but for a hero like this, if she gets one shot, you're just putting that passive in the trash, right? So I definitely want to transition her into a build with more health, more defense, better survivability. So that is the big problem with this particular build. And I've reforged a lot of the stuff here. I should have, instead of flat attack, it should be health percentage, or at the very least defense percentage, because I'm not getting that much value out of the flat attack, because she already has very high base attack anyways that you can scale so much better with attack percentage. So keep that in mind. Like, I want to have this gear universal for other high offense heroes. I don't want to start reforging health percentage because it's gonna mess it up for other heroes that are like, I'm trying to squeeze as much damage as possible. But in Sylvan Sage Vivian's case, you should have some survivability on her. I'm talking probably like over 10,000 HP, maybe 1200 defense, especially in longer battles, for her passive to work with her healing on the skill number 3. But let's talk about this particular build. The flaw is that the survivability is not there, but I have her on speed and critical set. This is pretty good. You could be running her on other stuff like an attack set. You could be running her on, I mean, you're gonna squeeze as much damage as possible. You could go with a rage set if you're dropping debuff on the enemy, but that's gonna be more for like PvE content. It's hard to control that in PvP, landing debuffs and having the right heroes in your team, and then you gotta worry about one more thing to make that work. But yeah, destruction set not so good because 60% crit damage now. Yeah, I guess you could make it work if you don't have that much crit damage on your gear, but make sure that she has 300% crit damage or less because of her crit damage buff, and especially for the rest of your team as well. If she's going to be buffing your team, she's going to go first in the rotation before the rest of your damage dealers. You want them to have 300% crit damage or less, or going to be losing value. You cannot go over 350% crit damage, okay? So survivability needs to be increased because to make her passive work. AoE attack on skill 3, AoE attack on skill 1 after the soul burn. So that means she's going to be getting a lot of counter attacks, Elbrus, all that stuff going in her face. If she gets one shot, the passive will not trigger. You're not going to get the 70% damage reduction from the passive if she gets one shot. That's why, hence why you should have better survivability than what I have her at. But I'm going to try the damage with her. Let's see how much damage she can pull with these numbers. And I'm running Tagil's Ancient Book because it's just so good. But you could be running for more damage, Portrait of the Saviors, which is not going to be running too good in long battles because the enemy will drop below 50% HP. You're not going to be getting the 20% damage boost anymore. So what you could do is run the Guild War Unity artifact, and I feel like that could be definitely a solid one. 16% damage increase, and then like no matter how much health they have, right? And you also get up to 20% hit chance, so that's good versus evasion-based heroes. You have a better chance against these annoying heroes, especially it counters Moonlight Dreamblade. That's very good as well. But the thing is, Unity Guild War artifact is better for RGB heroes when they're at elemental disadvantage, not so much for light or dark heroes. So if you want to be optimal, she's not going to be the right contender for that artifact. Now, other artifacts you can have on her, Mage's artifact are very strong. So of course, the Guild's Ancient Book, it's hard to deny its power because it opens a lot of doors. You can do so many things. Doesn't have to be the soul burn for her, could be for other heroes that are faster than her and stuff like that. Etika's Scepter. These artifacts are not at plus 15, so keep in mind it's not the number at plus 15, right? But yeah, you want to cycle her S3 faster, definitely a viable option. You could be running Caladra, guys. If you're going to be running debuff on your team, imagine Rage plus Caladra on her, just insane damage. You could be doing that for the memes or surprise the enemy, which I've done on my first account. It's a lot of fun. Insane numbers that you're able to dish out with Caladra plus Rage set. It's completely ridiculous, guys. So or if you're just trying to get as much damage as possible, just for the meme, doesn't mean it's gonna work all the time, but it's fun to see some big numbers. You guys know about that. So other contenders is Time Matter, right? Passive damage increase. You also have more damage and also cooldown reduction when you down enemies. Viable contender, but the thing is, it's a lot of ifs. You need to down targets and all that's a lot of pressure on her, especially if she's gonna be like buffing early on. Doesn't mean that the targets will be at low health already if she's early in the rotation. So it's gonna be hard to justify using that. But I mean, if you're gonna be pushing her with like an Oxlot, especially if you defense break, you do things like that for a meme to, skyrocket your damage. Doesn't mean it's going to be viable at all in World Arena. But in a control environment, Arena, Guild War offense, you can pull off things like that for memes, right? So yeah, my gear, as you can see, I opted for a lot of speed. I want her to go early on in my rotation. That is the big goal here. I just want her to work with the rest of my team. And I want her to have attack buff. Yes, I could have a damage increasing artifact on her to inflate her damage, but I feel in terms of utility to help the team as much as possible, yes, you have the crit damage buff already, but then having it at Tagil's Ancient Book is just so much value. It's ridiculous, especially if you're making things happen on turn 1, turn 2. It's just amazing, unless you're fighting Valiant, but you want to avoid doing that. That's the big thing about this hero being a mage. you got the option of Tegil's Ancient Book, and sometimes you can only bring one mage in your team, right? So you gotta, think about that. And it just gives you such a big boost to have 20 souls, or even pushing it to like 40 souls, 2 mage in a team, 3 mage in a team. It's really overpowered. That's the thing. So yeah, try to have 300% crit damage or less. Crit chance, bring it to 100% unless you're going to have like a C-Dom that's going to buff her with crit chance. Maybe you're going to have like a Pavel opener, a Ran opener, high base speed hero that will trigger C-Dom to put crit chance buff on the team. At that point, you could just have 50% crit chance on her. She has 23 after Awakening. You could even use the crit chance here, but I would use the AoE attack for the rest of the team. So yeah, I feel it's good unless I get one-shotted. So yeah, big prime here is survivability. There's other builds for her. So let us know what you guys think about all that in the comment section. How would you build this hero? Definitely stay tuned for the showcase right after this. She has 15 skill up, so we'll see what kind of damage she can get. And think about it, if she has a damage increasing artifact, we'll see. If her multiplier is really nice, if her damage is real nice, I might just have her using a different artifact to push the damage even further. And I'll test her with like Rage, and Caladra later on, especially on account number 1 when I manage to get her. I might do Secret Shop refreshes. We'll see what kind of performance she can actually do. Yes, guys, leave a comment, smash the like, subscribe if you still haven't. I'm Astranox. Good luck with all ya do. Peace out for now.